Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into Atomic Habits by James Clear. This book has sold millions and millions of copies for a really simple reason. The stuff in it actually works. We're going to break down its science-backed system for building good habits and, just as importantly, breaking the bad ones, so you can finally get unstuck and see some real, lasting change in your life.
So, let's start with a feeling I think we all know. You decide, this is it, I'm going to get in shape, or I'm going to learn a new skill, or finally tackle that big project. You are pumped, you're motivated, and then, what happens? A few weeks later, you're right back at square one. So what went wrong?
Now, if you're like most of us, your first instinct is probably to blame yourself. You think, I just don't have enough willpower, or I guess I'm not motivated enough. But what if that's not it at all? Atomic Habits makes this really powerful argument that maybe, just maybe, our whole approach to change is just wrong.
And here it is, the core idea of the whole book. The problem isn't you, it's your system. Think about it. James Clear points out that winners and losers in pretty much every field often have the exact same goals. The real difference? Winners have a better system of tiny, consistent habits that just carry them towards that goal day after day.
And that is exactly what this book is. It's the blueprint, the operating manual for building a system that makes good habits feel almost automatic and bad habits feel, well, nearly impossible. This isn't about some short-term motivational boost. It's about a real, sustainable, lifelong way to keep getting better.
So where do we even begin? Well, we start with an idea that completely flips the script on how we think about making progress. You can forget about those massive, overnight transformations. The real magic? It happens on a much, much smaller scale.
What if you just tried to get 1% better each day? I know, it sounds tiny, right? Almost insignificant, like reading just one page of a book, or doing 2 push-ups, or meditating for literally 1 minute. It feels so small you'd think it couldn't possibly make a difference.
But here's where the math gets absolutely mind-blowing. That tiny 1% improvement, when you compound it every day for a year, it doesn't just make you a little bit better, it makes you nearly 37 times better. That is the incredible power of compounding, and it is the secret engine behind massive change.
Clear uses this fantastic analogy. Imagine a plane flying from LA to New York City. If the pilot just adjusts the heading by a tiny 3.5 degrees south, you're not going to land in New York anymore. You'll end up in Washington, D.C. Your small, daily habits are that rudder, steering you toward a completely different destination in your life.
Okay, so this leads us to what might be the most profound part of the whole book, this deep connection between the things you do and who you are. See, most of us, we set outcome-based goals. We say, I want to lose weight, or I want to write a book. But Atomic Habits says, let's flip that around. The most powerful change is identity-based. The goal isn't just to run a marathon. The goal is to become a runner. It's a subtle shift, but it changes everything.
Every single time you do a habit, you are casting a vote for the type of person you want to become. You go to the gym? That's a vote for being a fit person. You write 1 page? That's a vote for being a writer. These little votes, day after day, are what literally build your new identity from the ground up.
So, next time you're facing a choice, try this. Don't focus so much on the big outcome. Instead, just ask yourself, what would a healthy person do right now? Or what would a productive person do? Let that new identity be your guide, and believe me, the outcomes will start to take care of themselves.
All right, so how do we actually build these identity-shaping habits? This is where the book gets super practical. It gives us a simple but incredibly powerful framework, the 4 laws of behavior change.
Think of these 4 laws as the user manual for your brain. Once you understand them, you can basically design a system that makes good habits almost inevitable and bad habits just fade away.
And what's so brilliant about this framework is its symmetry. It's so elegant. To build a good habit, you just follow the 4 laws. To break a bad habit, you just invert them. You want to spend less time glued to your phone? Simple. Make it invisible, make it unattractive, make it difficult, and make it unsatisfying.
Let's look at the first law. Make it obvious. A really great technique for this is called habit stacking. You basically piggyback a new habit onto one you already do. So instead of just a vague goal like, I will meditate, you get specific. After I pour my morning coffee, I will meditate for 1 minute. Your old habit becomes the trigger for the new one.
Now for the second law, make it attractive. You know, one of the best ways to do this is to join a group or a culture where the thing you want to do is the normal thing to do. We are so influenced by the people around us. If you want to get fit, join a running club. That social proof makes the habit way more attractive.
Law number 3, make it easy, taps into a basic human truth. We are wired to take the path of least resistance. The less energy a habit needs, the more likely we are to do it. So just ask yourself, how can I reduce the friction? Lay out your workout clothes the night before. Put the book you want to read right on your pillow. Make it easy to start.
And finally, we have the 4th law. Make it satisfying. Our brains love immediate rewards. So to make a habit stick, you've got to feel successful right away. Track your progress with an X on a calendar. Celebrate a small win. Give yourself some kind of tiny, immediate reward after you do the thing.
Okay, this all sounds great, but where do you actually practically start? Well, you start with a rule that is so simple it's almost impossible not to do it. It's called the 2-minute rule. Whatever new habit you want to start, you just scale it down until it takes less than 2 minutes to do. So, read every day becomes read 1 page. Run 3 miles becomes put on my running shoes. The whole point is just to make starting completely effortless. And the goal here in those first 2 minutes, it's not to get amazing results. Not at all. The goal is to master the art of simply showing up. You can't improve a habit that doesn't exist yet, but when showing up becomes automatic, then you can build on it. So let's bring this all home. If there's one thing to take away from Atomic Habits, it's this. Every single action you take is a vote for the person you want to become. These tiny atomic habits, they really are the building blocks of who you are. And that leads to the final question I want to leave you with. Who will you vote to be today? What's the one small habit you'll start, the one tiny action you'll take to cast a vote for the best version of yourself? The power is right there, in your hands, one atomic habit at a time.